Hello and welcome back to the Analyst Desk here at the Halo World Championship Tour London. I'm Brycey and I have the same guys with me on the desk. It's Walshy and Wonderboy.
We did such a good job last time.
Yeah, I know.
We got the job again.
I know. So production was just like, hey, we want you guys here all the time because you're the best. Yeah. And we're going to be best friends by the end of this.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Right.
He seems really desperate for a friend.
I need at least one friend in my life, okay? I can't. It's like primary school all over again.
Hashtag Halo WC. I'll be Wonderboy's friend. Okay, let's get into this first game, guys. Kind of your first impressions of this matchup coming up.
Yeah, so Dignitas versus Rift, I do believe. It's going to be a great one. We've kind of highlighted Dignitas as one of the teams that is going to be challenging Epsilon and challenging Infuse within that top three. So it's kind of a massive battle within that top three. Dignitas, a team full of Slayers. They have really, really strong individual skill. And this is going to be a tough test for Rift Gaming, because if you remember in the post-match interview yesterday, Walrus actually highlighted, hey, we want to be up there within the top three, and we feel like we can go shot for shot, toe-to-toe with these top three teams. So this is going to be a real test for Rift to see if they're actually at that level.
And when it comes to game types, if you're playing against a top three team, I do feel like you might have a better chance at taking like some sort of breakout, especially if you can catch them off guard, catch them right out the gates and take a couple rounds and get Dignitas question themselves.
Yeah.
Do you think this is an opportunity then for Rift? I mean, we said it was an opportunity last game round. Do you think Rift, this is their best chance? If they can kind of cut in here to Dignitas, they can kind of put them on the back foot?
If you're comparing two teams and you are saying, let's say one is a clear favorite over the other, like in this situation, you have a better chance at winning a game type like a Team Slayer or a Breakout compared to a longer objective game, just because it doesn't let the other team get in their groove. Like a team like Dignitas could, you know, very well turn a Coliseum CTF game around. Like they could be down 1 or 2 caps after the first 5 or 7 minutes and like slow down the pace of the game, finally get their groove and come back. Whereas a game type like a Breakout or Team Slayer, sometimes you get to some sort of insurmountable lead. Like a Breakout, sometimes just tough to turn it back around. Like it's never too late in a Breakout game. But in certain Team Slayer games, I almost feel like it is too late, because teams can always at least trade a kill for kill or get a kill for every 4 or 5 kills the opposing team gets.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I actually think Dignitas are probably the team I look at as one of the weakest within the top 3 on Breakout. Despite having such strong Slayers across the board, I really question some of their decision-making within a Breakout setting. I mean, Mose is probably one of the youngest players here at the tournament, I think. And he seems to be the one to die first every single round that Dignitas lose. It seems to be on Mose. It seems to be somehow Mose is getting caught out of position, or he's trying to make something happen and it just doesn't work out. So
all right, well, let's talk more about this team Dignitas then, because like I said, we like to talk about the high seeds here, the guys we were expecting to go through. Kind of break down how you kind of feel this team is put together and their strengths and weaknesses for me.
Well, obviously you have Septic there. I think most people should really recognize this name from his journey out to America. He played on the reality check team with, of course, the Sudus. We call him Sud 3 over here in Europe as a bit of a running joke. We have Fusion there as well. Fusion's actually the man who played on the old Dignitas lineup back in the day. So Dignitas dipping back into Halo. I think that's mostly because of Fusion. And then we have the 2 new boys, Respectful and Mose, coming out of Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 4. These guys have really stepped up their game, and they're kind of rising stars, if you will. You know, they still haven't got an event win between them. So winning UK champs would mean a lot to them, because obviously now, if they were to win, they would be considered established players and they can start, you know, building their legacy, if you will.
The talent is definitely there. Prior to Mose being on like the Dignitas squad, I remember playing a matchmaking game with him early on in Halo 5, and this is like literally within the first few days of Halo 5, and was extremely impressed. I remember I went out to an event cast out at Iron Gaming Daytona. This is the weekend after Halo 5 came out, and I even said it on broadcast at some point there. Someone could go back and check if they want. I was like, I played a matchmaking game with this guy named Mose. He carried me, and it was ridiculous. Like he had, you know, 20 plus kills.
Walshy just, you know, taking credit for some false facts. So I think I'm gonna need.
Go ahead and fact check it if you want.
I'm gonna need someone to actually clip that for me.
But yeah, it was. I just remember seeing that early on. I was like, wow, I'm not sure who Mose is or where he's from, but this kid is very individually talented. So we'll have to see if he can turn into one of those formidable team players, because to me it sounds like he might make some costly mistakes for his team, and you know, in some ways you can make that up with individual skill and play, But at the end of the day, when you're playing against some of these top squads, like playing against like a Epsilon or Infusion, you can't make those costly mistakes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think a lot of those mistakes come from inexperience.
Yep.
And experience isn't something you can learn. It's something you kind of have to go through. And Mose doesn't really have that LAN experience. He's been to, I think, one event here in Europe in the past. This is something around his second or third event. So he's lacking that tournament experience. But like we said, I think they will have the skill to win this event, but it's about whether or not they can actually get it done as a team.
All right, well, let's go straight into the predictions then. Give me a scoreline, Wonderboy.
I'm saying 2-0 Dignitas. I don't think Rift can take Breakout. Although Dignitas have been weak on Breakout, I don't think it would be a massive shock if Dignitas were to lose Breakout, but I see it 2-0.
2-0 Dig.
Okay, kind of analysts agreeing there. 2-0 is what we're predicting. But let's find out how it actually goes. Handing over to two superb talents. It's Golden Boy and Strongside.
That's right. You address me as such, Bracey. I'm just messing around. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the commentary booth as we get ready for this game. You know, I mean, look, here's the thing. I'll take Lord and Master. I'll take our hero, savior upon all who sees him, all these things. Honestly, it'd be great production if we could just put Lord and Master on my lower third instead of my name, because that is my name. But I'm joined by Strongside.
I like Global Icon. I think Global Icon
I also am a global
really
icon and a national treasure, world travel, entertain millions across the world and land.
I feel honored to be sitting here next.
You should be. You should be. You know what?
I feel like this gold presence, just this aura coming off of you.
I'm giving, I'm giving everyone a gift here today.
You know, we all appreciate that gift. It's good to have you here.
No, you know what? I do wonder if like someone's watching it and they're just like, man, that guy's a douche. You know, just like real class, horrible class act, right? Not a class act, but just a horrible person. In which case, you might be right. But in any case, let's actually get into what we're here to talk about, and that is the games, of course, Dignitas versus Rift. First map we're going to see is Altitude Breakout, which is what we saw earlier. Strongside, you are a big fan of this map. We'll get to it in a little bit. Rig, Team Slayer, and then if necessary, Eden Strongholds. Now, we're going to hop into the game in a little bit, but I do want to ask you, you said you have a certain affinity for this match.
Yeah. I mean, Golden Boy, we actually played this match, played this map earlier before the whole event started. And actually, we had some fun on there, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we had a great time. We nearly won, but we won all of the other games. And I made some choice words about Breakout, and I will leave those for off the broadcast.
Well, let's get ready to hop.
And as well as choice words for you after that game.
Well, let's get ready to hop on board with Septic here from Team Dignitas. This is a veteran player, and I'm sure he's going to do nothing but take faces. I'd say him and Respectful are the two to watch out for. They've got impeccable shots. They always are getting perfect shots from when I've seen them on stream and playing really well. So looks like Septic's going to head up straight up the front ramp, making his way to top middle. And I think it looks like Respectful is taken down as he was going for the BR. Now we just saw Epsilon almost lose their first matchup against Riot on this game type. Do you think we'll see the same here with Dignitas?
I mean, I think Walshy had mentioned it before. If you get a good start, anything's possible. But I do want to see Septic get that BR, but it's just going to be really hard with those two members of Rift shooting at him. Luckily for him, Mose is going to position himself in such a way as going to give him a vantage sight. And every time he looks over at that mid, ends up finding a player, those lights are going to catch him. So he's going to have to, look for some good angles so that this way he can actually get something going, but not going to happen. Harper comes up with the double kill. Nice play from Harper. Last player left alive is Mose.
It's not looking good for Mose right now. 3-on-1. This is a tough scenario to come back from. He's got the Hydra going for the kill, not able to pick it up. It looks like they're going to solidify that cap, though,
can't
here on round number 1. Wow. All right, so Dignitas definitely, I guess they're a little surprised after that. They're going to need to get it together this next round. Let's hop on board with Respectful and see if he's able to get the battle rifle here at the start of the match. The battle rifle is key on this map. You're able to get such a long-range distance fight and pick off players across the map with that battle rifle. You see they're throwing some great nades from Rift
good
right
shots.
there, but he picks up that pistol kill right there, gets the battle rifle, looking to go for the double, not going to be able to, stays alive. Good play there by Respectful. He's got teammates all over top middle, ready to assist him.
Yes, Septic actually going underneath. Mo's, of course, playing his usual position. Fusion hanging out by that mid-ramp there, looking for something. But I think Septic is on a flank, and he's looking around to see if he can find anyone. There's only going to be 2 members left alive. One guy right by that BR ramp is going to find him. Easy pickings for Fusion, and that will be a clean victory for Dignitas as they tie things up 1-1.
All right, let's watch Respectful one more time here at the start. Let's see if he rushes up for Battle Rifler again, or if he's going to change up what he does. We saw those nades come in incredibly fast at the start of that last round. Do you think Rift is going to throw those again? It looks like they're actually delayed a little bit here, waiting a few more seconds to throw those grenades. And now Respectful, once those grenades blow up, is making his way for the Battle Rifle. Now down to 3-2 in favor of Rift. Is Rift going to be able to make this happen? Respectful playing this a little bit more passive. He's sitting back. He's got the Battle Rifle. Gets in a 1v1 battle. It's taken down. Let's hop on board with Septic, who's the last player of Dignitas.
Harper's moving the flag as well, and ADZ goes there for the challenge. And something I do want to note was the aggression that came out of, oh, he falls down and he can't quite clean up the kill. I just want to say the aggression out of Rift was actually pretty cool there. They opted not to go for the Battle Rifle, sent 2 players up blue ramp to mid, and Vexus was picked off early. But despite that, though, you had Harper and ADZ, actually Harper and Sneaky Walrus picking up a couple of key kills there. So I like that approach they had. Now they're thinking about, okay, let's get aggressive on this left side. Let's try and stop them from getting access to their Battle Rifle, because we know how much it's going to cause you know, an issue for them, and some challenges coming through. And I have to say, that was actually pretty smart out of Dignitas. That one player with the Hydra being a distraction, he couldn't take him out quick enough. And that they had one more player Respectful with that Battle Rifle, just easy pickings for him. That's gonna that's gonna make them lose 2 players now, 4-2, as Harper just got picked. And last man standing.
Down to 1, Dignitas not messing around in this round. And it's interesting to see. Breakout's always really cool, because the match, for the round-to-round play, the strategy changes constantly. Now we're tied up 2-2. Let's see if Dignitas is going to change up their strategy one more time. I like to hop back with Respectful just to see what he's going to do. He's been going for the Battle Rifle every time. And it looks like he's just going to push straight up for it once again. It seems like Dignitas really trusts Respectful going for the Battle Rifle. Let's actually hop on board with Moz, though, who's making a flank bottom middle. He's trying to pick up a kill here. He's throwing a plasma grenade.
I really like what Rift was doing there at the start. You know, they got really aggressive and just decided to charge straight ahead down low. But unfortunately, he just could not clean up those kills. Respectful finds one on Harper. Another one right in front of him is going to be Vexus. He comes up huge with it, but now he's dealing in a really bad situation. Can he nail those shots? Though is a question. This is the part where you have to be steady with your shots. If he would have been able to kill that one player, he could have focused his attention, turned around, and handled the person that he needed to take care of. Or at the very least, just dragged it out a little bit more.
You could tell his shot was getting a little bit
nervous
whippy.
there.
He's definitely getting a little bit nervous. He could have possibly pulled that off, a 3v1, if he was able to pick up that kill on the flag player. Now nice. Septic taken down in the first few seconds of the game. Let's look over at Moz and see what he's doing. He's been favorable to go bottom middle most of the time.
Because they've detected that that's what Rift likes to do. They send 2 players bottom. They try and get aggressive on Hydra, and now Moz is going for this Hydra. And I have to say, I like that a lot if he's not careful with it. And also look at the movement that he's doing as well with his boot or his thruster, right? As he, catapults up into the air, he tried to get onto the ledge there, but instead opting to go underneath, but then gets absolutely trashed by Vexus, who hits him with a big one. Moz had no idea he just got hit by a truck. Now Fusion's going to be by himself 1v3, but he has a Battle Rifle, which could prove really, really beneficial for him. He's able to take out one player, Vexus, as he charges underneath. Now what does Rift do? Do they try and go for the flag? It seems like Sneaky Walrus has that idea. He's going to pick up that flag. Harper has a Battle Rifle. It is going to be up to Fusion here. 1v2. Can he find him? Can he chase quick enough to be able to make that happen as he looks around? But he is going to get stopped there, and that is going to do it, folks. Rift, man, is making this one a hyper-competitive matchup. 3-3 in the count here, and I like what I'm seeing from both teams, throwing different things at the table each time.
Yeah, Fusion actually took a long route. He flanked all the way around, and unfortunately Rift, they knew that, so they're like, you know what, let's grab the flag and just push it in. So I think Fusion should have stayed back
Fusion
a little
didn't
bit more
expect that.
instead of going for that long route. So Fusion's taken down there. Let's hop on board with Sneaky Walrus. And actually, he is
Septic
taken
and
down.
Mo's just
Hop on board with
crushing it.
Septic. Septic, he's, wow. That round was incredibly fast. I didn't even realize even what just happened right there. 4-3 now. Dignitas favored to win this. We're gonna have to see Rift really step it up here at the start of the match.
Septic with 10 kills, by the way, so he's doing what needs to be done. But of course, I think Rift, has been throwing a lot of unique strategies out there, and it has been back and forth for a reason. Looking around at the camera, I'm trying to see what each player is trying to do. Harper gets access to that Hydra early on. They end up losing a player, but respectful with the kill on Walrus. He's been another factor in this matchup. ADZ will fall to Septic's pistol, but there is going to be a flank from behind. Septic can't quite clutch it, but he has teammates there for the pick, and that is going to do it. 5-3. Dignitas takes game one. Good plays from them.
Yeah, we're really seeing it kind of go back and forth here on Breakout with these top teams. Rift really played well right at the start. They took down Dignitas, and Dignitas answered back, and it was just back and forth, back and forth. I think what we really saw was just players kind of putting a little bit too much pressure and exposing themselves, dying early in the match from Rift. And once you're down that one player, it's really hard playing that 4v3. You have to play a lot more passive. You can't play as aggressive as you would like being down a player. And we saw Dignitas really just take advantage of them in those situations.
Yeah, losing that one player early had affected Rift, more often than not, right? There were times where they did lose the player early and they were able to capitalize right away and get a trade. But when they went down early, you could just tell that it was like, all right, what do we do? Do we group up or something like that? Players who were going on a full flank and getting aggressive in the, by Hydra, they were going back, right? They were coming back to try and support. And I think that, if you're pushing that way, you don't need to send 2 down there, which they were doing. They were sending 2. And I liked the strategy of sending 2 by the windows, but because, of course, you just want to know, you want to have that information if someone else is going to be going down there. Because that's the thing, right? Essentially, when you play round by round, you're playing for the info. You want to know where the other team is going to be because you have no idea, right? Each round comes with it a new random experience, right? You don't know if they're going to send 3 down low. You don't know if they're going to say it's very different from what we've seen in Halo in the past. That's why, Breakout challenges players to think outside of the box with their approaches.
And you've got to be quick. Your team, you've got to communicate with each other like, hey, I'm changing what I normally do because let's say you and I were playing and we do the same thing over and over again. If I change something and I don't let you know, now you're going to be thinking you have my help. Yeah. And you won't. So these players really are doing a good job communicating with each other, changing their strategy from round to round.
Yeah, I really liked, a couple of those different approaches by Rift. But Dignitas, one thing that they kind of kept to them was their ability to slay. Right, you could just clearly tell the confidence was there. While Rift was trying to outsmart them, Dignitas was simply trying to outpower them, right? Overpower them as much as they possibly can. And it worked out very well for them. When you have a guy like Septic dropping 10 kills and just going off, there's really not much you could do in that situation. So a good game for Dignitas without a doubt, as they are going to go up in this series 1-0. Can Rift respond is the question as we get ready for our second matchup. It's going to be the Rig Team Slayer. Lots of things to take away from this one. We've been seeing Rig played out quite a bit in this event.
We just saw Snipe Drone
exactly
absolutely go off with the sniper rifle. Who do you think from Dignitas is going to be that sniper? Could it be Respectful? Could it be Septic? I actually don't know who that sniper on the team is, but if they have that core player sitting back with that sniper, I'm sure it's going to be similar, kind of what we saw with Epsilon, just that sniper taking faces, finding those angles, and just having those other 3 players really play around the sniper, just allowing him to sit back and technically bait his teammates and have that free, easy headshot.
I want to know who's going to be the guy on Rift that's going to do that as well. So
But Septic seems like he's going to be the one to grab the sniper initially, and they're just going to get real aggressive in long haul. Finding one, Walrus, and that's going to be 2 down here. Actually, on the dig side, as Septic tries to look for a couple kills, but Septic with a beautiful headshot there on Harper. Meanwhile, Mose, he is going to have the camo. And no power weapons just yet. No sniper, of course. He's just looking around for his victim. He finds one. Goes in for the dubskis. Can he get it? No, as he falls there. But still a good approach. Camo will fall down as Rift have the lead. And it seems like Vexus is going to be the one who has that sniper in possession. But he has to be cautious about it. He needs teammates around the edges to support him. He's getting flanked all over the place. He couldn't quite angle it. Fusion there with the scatter shot manages to make that kill. 5-5, 5-6 as a matter of fact, as Rift adds another one to the board. Fusion in a rock and a hard place here, but he has Mose for support. One more player behind him. Scatter shot could do some work, but it won't matter because Rift managed to drop 3 Dignitas players in a row here. And look at the way Harper and them have just been playing really slow. They've been taking advantage of crouch, right? Obviously looking to see if, any players are going to be popping up in their radar. Dignitas wants this game to be fast. That's what I'm seeing here. While Rift are content slowing things down, that tells me they have a little bit more control of this game than Dignitas does presently.
They've pretty much got the same setup as Epsilon that they had earlier.
Got to hit those snipe shots,
They're just not able to put the pressure on Dignitas to put them at bay and let their sniper kind of do their job.
What's the other thing, too? Dignitas, they're not... Oh, my goodness. Septic, what is going on? That was nasty. All I'm saying is, right, when you have a player like Septic who's gone off with the sniper, that's one thing. When you have Vexus, in possession of the sniper or another one of these guys, and they're not getting those shots, and also they're just not getting the communication that they need, right? They are looking in so many different positions. You can actually tell, like, his screen is just going left and right. He's not quite sure where he wants to look right now. But this is a very close game. Dignitas has the lead. Septic picks up the camo, does get melee, though, from behind. I believe that was picked up around, like, 9:44. We'll see that one pop up in just a little bit, but still respectful now with the sniper. And I don't know, man. I think this could be, besides Septic getting that headshot, this could be a cursed sniper. Whoever has had it has not had much luck with it. They've been killed quite a bit.
Just missing a lot of shots right there. Now the sniper is out. It's currently out, but respectful, just kind of hanging back over in the corner. He needs his team to kind of push back and get ready for this next sniper. You see Vexus actually taken down with the scatter off screen here, but respectful just doing a good job staying alive. He's hanging back, picking up a few kills, and then he's going to need to push back to the corner. You see there's really no setup right now between these two teams. It's just once a few members got into the back corner, the opposite team was just able to push through bottom engine and then take them out. And now you see Rift spawning in that back corner and Dignitas trying to take over, but they're going to have to wait for the sniper and try and get in that campy position over in the back corner.
This is the problem that Rift is going to have. They cannot, let Dignitas start to run away with this one, right? You were pretty much, I would say, at a stone's toss to being able to close the gap in this game and take the lead again. They cannot let them manage to just climb up even more now. 4 kills separates them. Tries to go in for that no-scope. Finds the body shot instead, but Vexus is going to be there for the challenge. He will still stay alive, though, because he's being focused on by numerous people. It's going to be a 5-kill lead for Dignitas here. This 20th could be a big one for them, but Fusion's not going to be the one to get it. Will it actually be another member of of Rift? I believe Sneaky Walrus was just in the battle. Can't quite get it just yet. They finally find her 20th kill. Meanwhile, Fusion brought that snipe out to the plasma caster right on top nest, and they're just waiting for it. Great slide. Oh my God, the movement. He can't get away from it though. That was some good stuff that we saw there for that brief moment. He tried to really take advantage of the movement once he saw Sniper was around that corner.
Yeah, this is wild right now though. Talking about the setups, there's really no setup right now. They're all over the map. The game is still really close, 29-22. It's still anyone's game. Fusion's got the sniper. Mose has camo. He's sneaking around over back in back engine. I think he's sneaking up behind a player in the back corner, and he's actually spotted with camo, not taken down. Fusion still looking through that little crack, trying to help out Mose, not catching anyone through this sightline though. And now it's actually the opposite of what we saw earlier with Epsilon. Fusion is now holding the sniper outside rather than inside. and they're keeping Rift spawning inside in that back corner, and instead of having them spawn outside where most teams would rather them spawn.
Yeah, this is the part where it's getting a little out of hand here, right, for Rift. They need to figure out an answer quickly. And, you know, anything at this point would do. But when you have Fusion just absolutely shredding with that sniper, the way that he's been doing on the outside like this, it's been, you know, it's really hard for the enemy team to, you know, to get that motivation to come back. But they're going to have to here, or else they'll be taking a trip down to that decider matchup in Group B. Let's see what we have now as Fusion is looking for that shot. He knows there's going to be one guy by Nest. And if I take a look at some of the other players here, Sneaky Walrus is going to be hanging out by Sniper, which a new Sniper will be coming up in a second here. This is the opportunity that Rift could be looking for. They have to get this Sniper, though. It is imperative that they do. Looking for one. Huge place from the Sneaky Walrus. He tries to go in for another shot, though. Can he come up clutch? Oh. No, he ends up falling there. And Infusion just grabs all of that extra ammo and just makes him even more powerful than what he once was. He was running out of ammo before, but now he has a new set of bullets to just send right through the skulls of the Rift Gaming team. Let's see now if Sneaky Walrus and the crew can push up. They got new camo, but ADZ with the camo, I think he could be a playmaker here. He has to stop Fusion from absolutely shredding everyone, because that pretty much has been the name of the game here.
Yeah, they're going to have to really turn this around. This camo has got to be a game changer for them. They're just getting picked off one by one still. They need to let their camo guy kind of do his thing. And actually, he's not going to be able to even pick up a single kill with that.
Right away.
Fusion with the sniper again, getting ready to take some faces. Didn't pull the trigger right there, but getting a nice little no-scope on the body shot right there. Yeah.
Oh, was that off the floor? I couldn't see for that brief moment, but anyway. Oh, there goes one right there. He's just running right in a straight line. It hurts, right? And now Fusion finds Vexus. Cannot stop him, though. Vexus' pistol too strong on that one. Another member of Dignitas, Septic, is there for the pickup with his battle rifle. 2 kills, and that will do it. Dignitas will be moving on to the bracket rounds. That's going to be a beautiful BR, and Dignitas does it, people. Rift Gaming put up a fight at the beginning of that game. It was just not enough. Fusion grabbed that sniper rifle, went to town with it, was a driving force. You have Septic just absolutely slaying, and as well as Moze. I mean, honestly, everyone clutched it. We really didn't even highlight Moze all that much, but everyone did their part in that matchup. Look at Respectful, 12 assists in that category, 11 kills for him, involved in 23 different gun battles. Almost half of the fights in this game, or in this match, he was able to take part in. Dignitas takes that 2-0. Rift goes down to that decider match, but still, Rift have a lot to take away from that. They are a team, in my personal opinion, that can contend. They just need to find whatever it is that's going to put them over that hump. If they would have won that breakout game, I'm almost certain that that would have been it. But they have to get it together, and I think there's a lot of really positive things they could take away from this game.
Yeah, Dignitas really plays the Rig Slayer an entirely different way than most teams. It's a really unconventional way. They didn't really have a setup anywhere. They were literally scattered around the entire map, and maybe that's their strategy, keeping Rift spawning up in all different parts of the map where Rift can't really get anything going. They can't get it together. They can't really use too much teamwork because they have a couple guys spawning over by barrels, a couple guys spawning over by nest, a guy spawning over in back corner, and then you've got Fusion out by the carbine. So
you just can't let Fusion get that run. I mean, as soon as he developed that was it, right? And then he got the second load of ammo as well from that next sniper. That was the play that I felt like Rift could have potentially fought back, right? Because then at that point, you know, they would feel good about themselves. They'd be able to get a couple kills, a couple picks because Dignitas was getting aggressive. It just was not happening. But that is going to do it for us here at the commentary booth for this matchup. Of course, we have a great one coming up in just a little bit. But for now, unfortunately, I have to toss you over to 3 guys who claim they know what they're talking about when it comes to Halo. Analysts, take it away.
Thank you very much for that, Golden Boy. Okay, let's kind of get into this one. First impressions of the match we just saw.
Well, it was business as usual for Dignitas. I mean, we pretty much said before the game it should be an easy 2-0 for them. I mean, we also said it was kind of the benchmark of where they would be because Rift, they're no pushovers. And we saw it in game number 1. Yeah, they took 3 breakout rounds out of Dig, but the thing you have to remember is Dignitas aren't the strongest Breakout team in Europe. You know, they're not as good as Infused or Epsilon on Breakout. So I didn't see that as a massive indicator. I'd just say, you know, Dig pretty much outclassed Rift, and that's what contributed towards the scoreline.
Watching that match, the entire match with Dig, I just noticed a lot of great individual plays, but also when compared to Epsilon, more individual mistakes. And, you know, those are what's going to really shine or possibly be punished heavily when they're playing against a team that's of their exact caliber. So we'll have to see how that plays later if they can, you know, tighten up some of those mistakes. But like I said, they were able to get away with a lot of those mistakes just due to their, you know, their higher individual skill.
Is this you kind of benchmarking these teams now? Are you sitting there based on that performance? What I'm kind of taking from you there is that you're saying you think Dig maybe slightly below Epsilon? Or do you think it's just maybe it was a little bit more relaxed for them in that one? Or
As a team, yes. So I'm not looking at it score-wise. However, yeah, because like, for example, we look at Epsilon's match. They won their game 5-4, and I would say the Team Slayer score was comparable, like like a 6-kill difference, something like that, 50 to 25 compared to like 50 to 31-ish. The whole point is just, I would say, like discipline and decision making. So for example, we saw when Epsilon was playing, we saw Snipe Drone get a couple of snipe kills and instantly go into like block spawns, and it just seemed like a lot of the amazing snipes we were seeing from the Dignitas end was like quick turnaround no scopes, or like the most miraculous snipes, or like being in very like odd positions, like leaving, you know, having the sniper still over at sniper spawn, and I don't know, it just seemed like quite unorthodox and uncoordinated play. But like I said, their skill, they were able to get away with it, and maybe they do thrive in that sort of chaotic environment. We'll just have to see as the tournament goes on.
Awesome. Well, let's get into this map by map in just a second. But first, over to Josh, who's sitting there with Respectful.
Cheers, Bryce. Respectful. Breakout, another hard contested map like Epsilon did. I guess towards the end, obviously, you guys pulled ahead. But to quote Strongside, quite scattered. What's the method behind the madness?
Yeah, well, Breakout's, obviously it's a new game type in Halo and whatnot, and people are is kind of like with a CTF or a Slayer, like with the setups, and we kind of know what to do a lot more in like those sort of game types. But with Breakout, like I said, being a new one, we're still getting into the groove in it. It's still early days for like Halo 5 itself, so we're already just going to improve on it. But yeah, we're enjoying the game types.
And how confident are you against the top flight of teams on Breakout?
Oh yeah, like I said, like Epsilon played a Breakout before us, and that was a 5-4 as well, and they're obviously a really good team as well. So I mean, we're just going to take every round like it comes. We're going to say like we're going to go out in this round basically like each round as it comes. So we'll say as a team in the booth and that like we're going home if we lose this. So we're going to treat every single round like it's the last one. We're not going to do any like kind of like random solo plays. We're not taking a risk or anything. So
Rig TS, I guess. They tried to contain you, and they achieved it for the start, but ultimately you reversed that and kind of taught them a lesson how to do it.
Yeah, Rig TS as well. That's another kind of hectic game type, but what we had Fusion. He was kind of sat around the carbine spawns, and the rest of us were just collapsing, and obviously we're like really good individually, so when we're all collapsing on the other team, we just kind of get away with it, and like obviously we're doing like more teamwork orientated stuff as well, but for the most part, it's just us slaying, so.
Septi was giving a snapshot sniper in the masterclass.
Oh yeah, Rob. Like Rob's always going off at land, man. I'm always giving him like a little fist bump in there and whatnot, getting him hyped. So yeah, it's good fun, man.
Finally, what's it like to be representing the yellow and black Dignitas jersey?
Oh mate, it's absolutely amazing. Like with these massive organisations coming back into Halo, with it growing and growing. I mean, I can't be happier, to be honest, man. I'm going to do him proud.
All right, Septic, well done. Bryce, back to you.
Thank you very much there, Josh.
That wasn't septic. That was respectful, Josh. Come on, bro. We're trying to keep it professional here, man.
I was about to credit him. One of the interesting things I kind of pulled from that interview there is they said they were not underestimating anything. They were taking every single round super serious. They weren't going to take any risks. I think that kind of sums up just how serious they're taking this competition.
Yeah, I think that showed in that match. I mean, like we said, Rift were no pushovers. You know, they're a strong squad, and I'd definitely expect them to make it out of Group B. I think in the decider match, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rift winning. And I think we'll see them in the knockouts. But yeah, one of the things I actually picked out from Respectful's interview was something to do with Breakout. You know, he said, hey, we're not going to do these individual, you know, mistakes. We're not going to do stuff, you know, by ourselves. That's actually what I saw out of Dignitas. I picked out before the game, Mose is the kind of guy who, you know, who will make or break a round for them. And I still saw those individual mistakes from Mose on the Dignitas side on Breakout.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of forceful plays. So when we compare to, like, I think unarguably Epsilon is the #1 seed coming in this event. And so we got to treat them as if they're the best team here until proven otherwise. So when we compare it to someone like Epsilon, where we have Jimbo, it seems like kind of methodically, like looking for weaknesses in a defense on like a breakout and like, you know, looking through the window first. All right, that's not there. I'm going to go up on the top sneaky ledge, see if I can see him in main ramp. Nope, not there. Like trying to see, like check out different options before
the information game, right? You got to figure out exactly where they're not before you can find out where they are.
Deducing where they will be at. And whereas like we saw like a push from Mose where he just said, well, I have Hydra. I'm just going to kind of sprint over here or just run down under BR and see if I can slip by in this situation. And was meleeed instantly. I believe that was round 4 of Breakout. So it kind of just shows like the difference in strategy and planning. Like one being like, all right, well, I'm going to commit to this play and try to go for it and see if I can slip by. And others kind of like poking and prodding and more methodical approach.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you do that kind of stuff against Rift, it's, you know, it's hey, like, there's 1 round out. That's cool. That's cool. That's fine. We got loads of more rounds on the board. If you do that against Epsilon, that 1 round could come back and bite you in the backside. So they can't be making those mistakes against those top 3 teams.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Epsilon do bite them in the backside later on this tournament. But okay, let's talk a little bit more about this. Is there anything you kind of identified in their breakout that could harm them against top flight teams, other than the kind of the risky plays there? Do you think they're a tighter breakout team than Epsilon?
No.
Because now we've got to see them on the same map.
Yeah, no, they're certainly not. I think Epsilon are still the undisputed best breakout team in Europe. I think that would be a fair assessment. I think that I've only ever seen them drop 1 map on Breakout, like no matter what the map is. So I still see Epsilon as the best, but I think the key identifier for Dignitas was the rounds that they won. They got the first pick. Yeah. And that's so important in Breakout.
Yeah, I guess I can't say too much in depth about both the squads. I haven't seen as much of their breakout plays, like besides having seen their matches today. But to me, it just seemed like with their shots and when they do have the advantages, it seems like Dignitas knows how to press those advantages. And they, you know, they had, Respectful had mentioned that sometimes they thrive in certain chaotic situations such as that, like on Rig. But whole point being is they can go, you know, I feel like Dignitas, after seeing like their shots and their play, I do think they can go pretty much toe-to-toe, like individual skill-wise against Epsilon. However, just seeing those individual mistakes and that sort of disorganized play, like that disorganized play works well when you can outskill a team or like you're on fire. However, when you are, you know, on even ground or not playing as well as the other team shooting wise, you will never win with that disorganized play because it thrives on the situations where you can isolate one-on-one battles, that you can hopefully catch someone off guard and win that specific fight. And it's a snowball style play style because you, like I said, you get little advantage after little advantage. It snowballs into this huge, huge lead. However, when it doesn't work out, you just give up little advantage after little advantage, and before you know it, you're on the back heels just getting spawn killed.
Too long didn't read. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's move on to map number 2. Okay, so it's the Rig, and here Dignitas did seem to kind of be in a little bit more control.
Well, yeah, we saw in the Epsilon match, it was the Snipe Drone show this time. It was the Septic show. He was trying to one-up Snipe Drone there, and I'm not sure if he did. I'll leave that to, you know, the viewers at home, but Septic hit some magnificent snipes, and for the most part, in the early part of the game, sort of around the 15 kill mark, up until around the 15 kill mark, Rift actually kept it very scrappy, and I think that's what you need to do on the Rig. You know, if you don't have that BR-based control with the sniper around that kind of area, with a sniper trying to pick stuff off, I think you kind of need to keep it scrappy until maybe that next cycle of camouflages, or you can get yourself a power weapon maybe from the other team's mistakes. So Rift did a great job in keeping it scrappy, but once Dignitas had the sniper and the BR base, it was pretty simple for them. I mean, as long as Septic's hitting great shots, Dig will be fine. And actually, a contrasting thing we saw from Dignitas, Fusion actually likes having the sniper away from the BR base, so kind of outside. He was using the angles like down the hallway, and he will hold that angle and lock it down all day long. As long as he has no pressure on him whatsoever, he'll sit there all day until he's picked off.
Yeah, for one of the first times we actually saw a sniper being controlled outside, and sort of like an outside setup. Yeah, we're used to seeing the outside setup on strongholds on Rig. However, it seems to be the reverse, like you said, on Team Slayer, just because it's tough for a team to really want to rotate outside because you don't have as much incentive. The reason you do want to hold inside on Rig Slayer is because Sniper comes up inside. Same with Camo. Camo's spawn up there, and you can set up in there, and time is on your side. If the other team does not push and make you leave the area, you're going to have different weapons that are going to help you easily pick off kills or grab a Camo where you can slip behind them.
Interesting thing you actually said there, Wonderboy. You said, you know, when they control the sniper outside, you said it's fine as long as they get no pressure on them. Now, is that actually going to be a reality when we move later into this tournament and get some of the top echelon teams? Are they going to have that luxury of having no pressure and a sniper in that position?
Yeah, see, that's interesting. I think Epsilon are kind of blessed in the fact that they have Snipe Drone, who somehow manages to evade all pressure no matter what the situation. So it's going to be interesting to see if teams like Infused and teams like Epsilon can shut down Dignitas and Fusion. You know, Fusion was the man who happily locked down that angle. So yeah, I don't know if teams will be aware of what Fusion likes to do on that map, and I don't know if certain pressure will come on the power weapon players from the top teams. I think that remains to be seen.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for kind of breaking that one down for us. Everyone watching at home, it's Team Infused versus Viperio coming up after this. It's certainly going to be a corker of a match. See you after the break.